Hi everyone, my name is John Shea and I will be your instructor for this course. The reason I basically wanted to make this introduction video was to talk a little bit about why I created this course. And I've actually had a lot of experience designing WordPress sites, and eventually what it came down to was I found the need to create landing pages or sales pages for a lot of the websites I was building, whether or not it was for myself, for clients, or for just building out businesses, things like that, little projects on the side. So I've basically used a bunch of different tools, and I really wanted to basically create this course and show you kind of a comparison of some of the tools, talk a little bit about them, and then I'm actually going to show you a tool that I recommend. It's the most affordable and probably one of the easiest to use of all the different tools that I've tried, and I'm basically going to kind of cover that tool in detail. So stay tuned. I hope you get some value out of this course and learn a little bit more about how you can make really simple landing pages and sales pages for WordPress. In this video I wanted to talk about WordPress and why WordPress is probably one of the better platforms that if you're going to be building landing pages, it's just really going to be an easy option for you. There's a lot of tools out there that already are compatible with WordPress, whether or not they have like their own landing page builder. One of the tools I'm going to show you, for example, like you can build landing pages on their own site in their own domain, but then they have like a WordPress plugin, so you could actually integrate them into your WordPress blog. There's a lot of tools out there that allow you to do visual editing on WordPress with their own built-in plugins. And then you've also got a lot of these different tools that you could kind of build them in whatever site you want, have it hosted on their own website. But generally, just the option I'm going to show you, it works really well with WordPress. And to get hosting and actually get a WordPress site set up, it's so simple that it's probably just one of your best options. I mean, granted, depending on what tool you decide to use from the things I'm going to show you, of course you can always go out and find other tools and research them yourself. But I just recommend WordPress. That's how I build all my landing pages. Even if I had a site that maybe it wasn't even going to be used necessarily in WordPress, maybe I was going to drive people to another section, I'd probably just build the WordPress site, set up my landing page template and plugin, and then I'd actually drive them to another website. That's what I would do, just because I'm so familiar with WordPress. Setting it up is so simple, and using these plugins I'm going to show you are very, very easy to use. So check out the next lecture. I'm going to talk about sales pages and landing pages and kind of compare the two and what's different. Okay, so in this video I just quickly kind of wanted to show you the difference between sort of a landing page and a sales page. I guess in some ways you could sort of use the terms in a lot of similar I guess depending on the type of page that you're looking at, you could really kind of look at them as both the same. I basically pulled up a page here on the lift.com website, and this is what I would consider more of as a landing page. And the reason I say that is that they have kind of a call to action here. You've got this like woman in the background. Here's a big call to action: make up to $35 an hour driving your car, and then apply now. So they want you to fill out this form and click I agree and become a driver. So then immediately, as soon as you put in this email address, you've opted in. They've used this landing page to basically drive more opt-ins for their program, for their Lyft program. I know they're competing like a competitor to Uber. I just randomly pulled up this page, thought that was a good example, but then they go on to talk about what the program is, all these other things that you can learn about their program, and then they've got frequently asked questions and again another call to action. Here's another page that I actually just worked on. I'll actually be going back to this, but I just quickly wanted to show you sort of the difference. This is a straight up more of a sales page where we're offering, this is an SEO service, and as you go down you can see we've got like a pricing chart here. You can add this to your cart. We're not trying to get people to opt in with an email. We're trying to actually sell something. So those are kind of like the main differences, really, looking at these two. Some people might be doing a combination. They might be trying to get you to opt in and then at the same time trying to also sell you something. So you can kind of look at it as a landing page, sales page, whatever you want to call it. But those are sort of the way I look at the differences, and I just wanted to show you that. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick video kind of giving you an idea of some of the different plugins that are out there. I'm going to make some more videos kind of looking more closely at some of these plugins, but here's an idea. I found this post. It was written last year. Top 5 WordPress landing page plugins to skyrocket your conversions in 2015. And some of the plugins in this I'm actually going to talk about a little bit, but I quickly wanted to go over and show you. Here are some of the plugins. We've got Thrive Themes, OptimizePress, LeadPages, Coming Soon Pro by SeedProd, and WordPress landing pages. Now all these are completely different. You're going to have a lot of other options. There's definitely even more plugins that are out there. This is just an example post. I wanted to link this to you so maybe you could check this out yourself and do a little bit of reading. I thought this really had a lot of information that basically I already I thought would be useful for you guys. So I'm gonna, in the next few videos, I'm gonna kind of cover some of these a little bit more in depth and talk about them, my experience with them. So here's a free plugin that you can actually get just through the WordPress plugin directory called WordPress Landing Pages. You will find there are some other free plugins as well you might be interested in checking out. I'd say just test things out for your own due diligence. If you're looking to save some money, obviously this might be a direction you can go. I've tried some of these out, and I don't particularly remember honestly if I tried this one, but most of the free ones that I tried out myself I just was not all that happy with. You can see here this one, it's got kind of a mixed review. You can see here we've got 64 5-star reviews, and then we've got 27 1-star reviews. So a lot of people not all that happy with it. A lot of them they will try to upsell you into other systems. Maybe it's support or getting more features, which makes sense because obviously they want to make some money off of their tool. This one, if we take a look at some of the 5 stars, I figured I'd quickly cover this. Awesome plugin, incredible on extra tools and tracking, does everything you need to create and test landing pages. Videos are great, really incredible, saves time, works really well. So it sounds like people there are pretty happy. Obviously, let's see what some of the 1-star guys are saying. So that would be cool. Never had the chance to use it. The moment I activated it, didn't allow me to access my back end of my site. So it actually broke this guy's website. So that's something to keep in mind. And this was even pretty recent. This was only about a month ago from the time I'm recording this. Can't install the new version. It looks like a lot of people, as of more recently, are even having some problems with it. Looks easy, would be a dream. Tech support put a lot of effort into it, but it's simply unprofessional. Something didn't work. They just give simple answers. So it sounds like it's pretty hard to get it working for some of these guys. So this is just something to keep in mind. I know if you're going to pay for a plugin, later on I'm going to show you one that I really recommend, like I said earlier, and I know the support there is very, very good. They have a huge support forum. So this is something maybe if you want to do a free route, you could try this out and take a look around the plugin directory on WordPress and see if there's any other plugins you might want to try out. It's definitely worth at least testing and seeing if it's something that'll fit your needs depending on what you're trying to do. But take your due diligence, and like obviously here it might be worth making a backup, or at very least making sure you have FTP access, so if you try to activate the plugin you don't get the famous white screen of death that WordPress can basically throw at you if you have a problem with a plugin. I've had it happen many times. The next tool I wanted to talk about is called Instapage. Now, I used a very old version of this at one point. I believe at the time, I know it was very easy to use. I think that they've improved it quite a bit since then, but I have not used the newer versions of it. I guess I wanted to throw this out there as another option, as you can actually get a free version of it that has a lot of limitations. But they've also got a similar drag and drop system. There's lots of templates and things that you can integrate very easily into your landing pages. It's very easy to really just get it set up with something like this and integrate it into all these different platforms like MailChimp, Google Analytics, Google+, Woohoo Forms, Twitter. All these things are very common. And they kind of tote, hey, we can get it on Facebook, anywhere, any website you want, or a WordPress site. So you really got plenty of options here. This is a tool that I do recommend. I mean, it's very reasonable, but it's still not my #1 recommendation. I'm going to show you quickly here the pricing. I actually had to search for this, by the way. I couldn't find this on their homepage. They wanted me to opt in, I think, to even find this information, but I was able to find the page searching Google. And here you can see they do have a free plan, but you're capped at only 100 visitors a month and one landing page. It's also not a mobile responsive page, and it does work with WordPress, and then you get some of their integrations, but you don't get like the bigger stuff like Infusionsoft and Salesforce integration, no support of any kind. And then of course, if you go up to the $30 a month plan, that's when you can really start sending some serious traffic and building as many landing pages as you want. And then also you're getting a mobile responsive landing page. So maybe if you're running like Facebook ads, you could be sending them, you know, to mobile visitors with these landing pages. So this is just something to consider. It might be worth checking the free one out. I actually haven't tried it just because I'm so happy with the current tool I'm using. I'm not paying anything per month, and I think we're gonna be getting to it soon. I know I'm building up on it, but I wanted to give you all your options first and kind of let you guys decide before I show you my #1 recommendation. So this might be worth checking out. Like I said, I did use them a while back and I was happy with it at the time, but you know, obviously if you don't want to be paying a monthly fee for your landing pages, then this is something you really need to consider. The next tool I wanted to talk about is called OptimizePress. Now, this is a tool I've known about for quite some time, but personally I've actually never tested it myself. This is another one that I just wanted to throw out there and make sure you guys were aware of it. This one is actually really cool because with this particular tool, you can actually not only create sales pages, landing pages, but you can also create membership sites with this particular tool, and it does integrate within WordPress. The only thing I believe, just from my own research, is if you have a current WordPress site, essentially you're putting like a whole theme into your WordPress site in order to create this. It's not like you could you know, you have a blog and then you could like go off and create a landing page inside of that same blog. I could be completely wrong about that, but I know that there's some, depending on how you're setting it up, I think you actually have to use their theme and then integrate a lot of that inside of you know, their own theme for building out your WordPress site, which could be a limitation for some people. I mean, it does mention here you can do authority blog sites, so I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not sure how the aspect of like the membership site part of it works with, you know, like let's say I'm running a blog, you know, how do I build in the membership site into that, if it's a separate element or if it's like taking over the actual theme of what I'm using. So that's something to take a look at for yourself. They have, you know, they mention all the features here. I'm going to leave a link so you can go and check this out. But, you know, it's a similar idea. You know, you're basically doing a live editor, you're doing a lot of drag and drop. You know, they're mobile ready. You know, of course, they're WordPress optimized, and then they've got lots of different themes and templates, different elements you can use. And I'm actually going to go to the pricing page to give you an idea. Let's see. Click here to get it. Here we go. So you're basically looking at a one-time $97 for the most basic, but you're limited to only 3 sites. And then I think this does include support, so that's really good. So more or less, if you do the bigger package, essentially you're just getting, it looks like you're just getting more sites. And then on the Pro, you can do up to 30. So you basically have some limitations here. $100 is not bad if you're looking to start doing membership sites, depending on what you're looking to do. I mean, you know, obviously you could be teaching on Udemy and you don't need anything like that, or maybe you do want to sell on your own site. If you're just doing landing pages, you may not have any use for the membership functionality. So I'm gonna still, my last recommendation is going to be something that I totally recommend, and it's a little more affordable than this, but overall I think this would be a really good option if you're considering building membership sites on your own WordPress or whatever your own domain is. At some point you're planning to do that, this might be a really good option for you. In this video, I wanted to talk about another tool which is called LeadPages. This is probably one of the most popular landing page or sales page creators that's out there. I mean, really, this thing is just a full-on suite. It pretty much could do everything you could possibly imagine with landing pages. I actually used the tool for several months They have a WordPress plugin, so you can integrate it very easily into a WordPress site. If you're not using it for WordPress, I mean, you can use it for other means. You know, maybe if you had like an e-commerce site on Shopify, for example, they're kind of they got a little Shopify icon here in the homepage. You could do it on a Shopify store if you wanted to integrate with that. So this is a little more general. I mean, depending on what you're looking for. The biggest negative, I would say, with this particular tool is that you actually have to pay quite a bit of money for it. It's not cheap at all. The plugin I'm going to recommend a little bit later as you go through the course, I'm actually going to show you, is literally the cost of almost what you're paying for this in 1 month. You can buy the other tool for like one time, and then you have it forever. You can use it on as many sites as you want. So I quickly wanted to show you the pricing. This is actually a little, I think here, yeah, so this is a little deceiving. This is pricing based on if you buy their tool for their entire year. So that's a prorated price. If you pay for an entire year, you know, you're going to spend a few $100. If I actually go to the pricing area and I change this to month, you actually pay $37 a month if you just want to try this out for a month, and you're still not getting all their advanced features. You know, if you really have the money, you know, to really do some, you're looking for some powerful stuff to be doing with your landing pages. You know, maybe you want to start doing A/B split testing. You want to use some of their advanced stuff like lead links, be able to promote them with their affiliate program. Then basically you can set up the $67 per month program. I tested out the standard monthly for a couple months, and I was overall pretty happy with it. I mean, they're always adding new features. They've got tons of templates and stuff that they test all the time. You'll see that there's some pretty big name people that promote LeadPages. Actually, if you may have heard of him, depending on what, you know, where you're coming from in this space, but Pat Flynn of the Smart Passive Income, he actually recommends LeadPages. So by any means, I mean, it's not a bad tool. It's just not something that's good for saving money and really looking to you know, kind of cut corners if you're looking to go a little cheap on your budget. I mean, for me, starting out, you know, when I was just starting, I didn't want to spend $40 a month on a landing page system. I would rather spend that money on like an email list, you know, tool every month, like $15 a month for that, or $20 a month for like an Aweber or a GetResponse. You know, put that money somewhere else that would be a little bit more important for the business that I was trying to build. And for this, it's a lot of money, and that's kind of my take on it. So I'm going to show you some more tools and give you some ideas, but I wouldn't discourage this. I don't know if they actually offer, I don't think they offer any sort of trial. I could be completely wrong. I'm not seeing anything like that. They do have some definitely cool features, like you can now do stuff with like SMS text messaging, and they've got these like sub lists and webinars and things that you can do. They've got crazy templates that you can customize and change, and a lot of them are really nice. So I mean, go check out LeadPages for yourself. You know, it might be something that is good for what you're looking for, but if you're, like I said, if you're looking to save some money, there's definitely some other solutions we can look at, and I'm going to show you those. Thanks. This is another plugin I thought I'd show you guys that I've personally used myself. This is probably not something I would necessarily, I mean, I guess it's tough to say. Right now, if you really wanted to invest in this, you could. There are some advantages to it. Mostly a lot of the graphic kind of like elements that are included with it. As you can see on this page, you've basically got all these different arrows and little things that you could really implement into your landing page. This question mark here, you've got these 3 arrows. You've got this like side arrow kind of coming down at the have you lost hours, and you know, big checkbox here. All these different things that you could implement with this particular plugin. It is very, very easy to use. One of the biggest advantages to it is basically you set up a blank page and then you can simply just start editing. One of the disadvantages is they also include a template, which is essentially just a blank page. So it's going to be a little tough, depending on what your goals are, to really implement like a back end, like have a blog with this. What I actually ended up doing was I was able to find, off the top of my head, I don't remember what it was called, but there's a plugin out there where you could essentially create like a page in WordPress that's just completely blank, and this plugin is a great way to kind of mix and match with that. Right now, it really wouldn't be my top recommendation, but it's something to at least look at. I mean, as you can see here, they've got all these different fonts and different things you can do, so you can make some really interesting pages with it. That might be one advantage and one reason it may actually be worth looking at. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty standard. You know, you can add images, you can edit HTML, you can add links. Here they show you can add a map if you want. You can even embed YouTube videos, you know, pretty standard stuff. The biggest advantage, like I said, would be a lot of the graphics and things that they include. And they do mention here, you know, they give you some templates and things they'll include as well. So that might be another reason that it'd be worth at least looking at. Overall, the use of the actual plugin is very easy to use. I mean, you can kind of create these really cool like fonts, like here, this bonus number 2, like that's actually a font that's included in the theme. In fact, I think this page here was probably created with this plugin. So it's a pretty nice landing page, you know, considering everything you can do with it. This one's $97 and it's a one-time, so you would never have to, you know, pay monthly fees or anything like that. But at least worth checking out. I wouldn't, you know, completely discredit it, but I'm going to show you even still another plugin I love and probably recommend a little more highly than this one. Okay, so this is another plugin I really wanted to share with you. And if you're actually someone that is building WordPress websites for other people, or you've ever purchased any theme over on the Theme Forest website, part of the Envato market here, you'll find that a lot of themes that are built by a lot of these developers over on Theme Forest integrate in what's called the Visual Composer, which is a page builder for WordPress. I've actually come across probably at least 2 or 3 different themes that I've picked up for clients of mine when I was building websites that had this Visual Composer integrated into it. It's fairly easy to use, and I really wanted to cover it because it is, you know, if you're going to be doing any website building at all, this is just kind of something you may come across with some standard themes. You know, it's a very easy to use plugin. It's pretty good. I really like it, but it's still not something I would necessarily recommend as my like number 1, I guess you could say. This is the last one I'm going to cover actually before my recommended one. I know I've been building this up, but I wanted to give you guys all the options and show you all the different things before I actually shared my final recommendation, my number 1 recommendation for a landing page builder. So this one I quickly wanted to show you. If you click here, I'm basically on the Envato market. You can kind of get an idea. They integrate this right into the back end of WordPress. So you're going to get some extra buttons and stuff that are added into the native like editor, and you're going to easily be able to go in and sort of move around blocks. Like you could basically move these images and different things like call to actions, text, and that'll sort of build out these pages. I actually just finished a website that I've been working on for like a landscaper, and it actually has this Visual Composer integrated into it, and I can kind of choose how I want to build things. The entire home page is built with it. A lot of the elements that the theme have, like, you know, the slider and things like that, are not part of the plugin, but the rest of it is all using this Visual Composer, and, you know, things look very slick. It's very, very easy to use and modify things. Once you start learning how to use it properly, you can really do quite a bit with it. There are some little like knick-knack things that, you know, kind of editing, like how things will be structured and look centered, things like that. It can take a little bit of practice, but overall, once you spend some time with it, it's really not that bad at all. Let's see here. I wanted to show you, I'm not sure what this actually looks like. So this is a live preview page, and I think, yeah, so this page, I don't know why the colors are a little off on this preview page, but essentially all these elements were built with this Visual Composer. I'm not sure what's up with the text on their page. I think that's kind of funny actually. But all this stuff you can do with the Visual Composer, you know, having the video here, this text, this header. Obviously this is just a theme, so then they've got the menu at the top. Overall, it's a pretty good plugin. What I would recommend, honestly, is if you're, you know, I guess you could just buy it outright. If I go back to, you remove this. Oh, hit buy. I don't know, does this take me to theme? Yeah, it just takes me to Theme Forest. So it's $34 to buy this, but you can actually get some templates and stuff. I'm going to show you the one that I bought. Wordpress, I believe it's called. Oh, maybe, oh, I probably go to theme forest first. So I type in build press. I just wanted to give you an example. So here's a WordPress theme that's $59, so you're paying almost double. But this actually, I believe, I could be wrong. Yeah, see, it talks about their page builder, but I don't know. This one might not actually have it. There are some plugins, though, that WordPress themes that will include, you know, basically that visual composer. And, you know, it might be worth buying a theme instead of just buying the template, you know, the plugin itself. Then you could at least have the theme and you'll have that plugin as well. You could use it on as many sites as you want. That might be a way to do it. I thought this one had it, but I guess not. This one I think has a little bit different page builder. Some themes, they just have like their own built-in sort of stuff that they've created, but always worth taking a look at the themes first if you're looking to potentially build a website. If not, maybe you've already got a theme, then you could just buy the plugin if that's something that looks like it's appealing to you. It is very affordable at only 34 bucks. Alright guys, so I know I've been building up to this one, and this is the plugin that I totally recommend. I've been using it for a ton of different sites, and this plugin is called the Thrive Themes Content Builder. And technically, the actual parent company is called Thrive Themes, and they've got several different tools for generating leads, and you know, actually they also sell like actual themes for your WordPress site as well as this content builder. Now, the creator of Thrive Themes, the owner of Thrive Themes, his name is Shane Malaw, and I actually interviewed him on my podcast probably about 2 years ago now. And at the time, he had a plugin that he made for WordPress that essentially was used for, you know, capturing leads and creating opt-in forms and things like that. And I was very impressed with it. And when he came out with this, I knew it would be an amazing product. And without a doubt, it has been one of the probably most successful plugins kind of in this niche. I know he's just been really blowing up, and the community over here, a lot of people are using it. You can see right here, it says on the homepage over 7,000 people use and love Thrive Content Builder. So quickly here, I just wanted to show you kind of like the sales page of, you know, obviously I've been doing this for all of the other plugins that I've showed you, but this is my #1 recommendation without a doubt. It is just the easiest to use. You can use it on limited sites. Just the learning curve of it is not very difficult. They offer really good support. You can go on the forums and ask for help. In terms of comparison pricing, I mean, you're going to basically be paying pretty similar to what I was showing you with some of the others. If you go down here, you know, they kind of talk about all the features. I'll link to this page and you can check it out for yourself. But I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and actually just show you the pricing. So for a single site, it's $59, and I know you're not going to be able to get by this one because they do have some pretty strict like licensing stuff going on in the back end if you try to install it on a second site. But in terms of unlimited sites, this actually used to be a little cheaper, but they raised the price, I think, after like some of their initial launch stages, and now it's $87 for unlimited sites, and you can activate this on your own sites, as many as you want. I've actually used it. I mean, I guess you could say I, in some ways, use it on a client site. I know they say here, you know, this is like the idea of, you know, you pay $247 for the year for client sites, but in a lot of cases, like, I'm still managing those sites, and it's sort of a fine line, I guess you could say. But I haven't had any issues using the unlimited site license and being able to activate that in as many places as I'd like. I've built a lot of different websites with it, even the homepage, landing pages, sales pages, whatever you want. They've been improving this plugin quite a bit. They added this vast list of templates and things that you can use for landing page design, and a lot of them are really awesome. In the next videos, I'm actually gonna show you examples of sites I've built with it, and then I'm actually gonna show you how I would go about creating a landing page with the plugin, and maybe just give you some ideas of how you could do a couple things sort of on the fly. So if you decide to buy this plugin, you'll have an idea of you know, how you could go and create simple landing pages for yourself. Hey guys, so in this video I actually wanted to put together just a very quick video to kind of show you a new comparison page that was actually put up here by the folks at Thrive Themes. And what it is it's actually a really elaborate Thrive landing pages comparison versus LeadPages. LeadPages is probably one of the top platforms that you can use. I know I talked about that in the course, and they really just run through a lot of the core differences, being that LeadPages mostly is more of a hosted solution and Thrive Landing Pages is actually a WordPress plugin. So, they go on to explain the differences here and why, there's disadvantages, advantages to these things. And then they really start to break down their pricing. So like with a standard LeadPages account, you're paying $300 a year. With unlimited sites with Thrive Landing Pages, it's $97 one time. So you're really going to pay substantially more with LeadPages. And then there's some features that both do and don't have. I mean, they don't have a welcome gate with Thrive Landing Pages, for example. The affiliate program, you don't even get that with LeadPages. And then they've got some other stuff like there's no A/B testing on either. Facebook integration, obviously you do need a website if you're going to use Thrive Landing Pages, which really isn't a big deal. They talk about conversion rate stuff, and then a couple of the unique features like lead links or lead digits that LeadPages has. And then they really dive into some of the other membership features, like if you have a personal Thrive membership, you get access to like all of their tools, which includes like Thrive Leads and some of the other widgets and landing pages, all the stuff. You get unlimited access to support. And then of course, to compare that to their pro version, you're paying more than, basically double, almost triple that in a year. And, they again break down some more comparison stuff like that you can and can't do with LeadPages. I was actually in a LeadPages page just the other day. I was able to get a free account. Someone that I know was able to give me what's called a sub account through LeadPages. And I was in there, I was like trying to edit some stuff on a template, and I was like, wow, this is not very, I literally have to work with the exact template I'm given. I can't really drag and drop stuff. So that's another big reason I really like Thrive themes. And then they go on to talk about flexibility, like ease of use, user support, so they don't really knock LeadPages too much, but they talk about, hey, it does have cool features. Like they're really, really honest on this page, and that's the one thing I like. But overall, again, I mean, as I've mentioned in the past videos here, Thrive is definitely one of my favorites. I've also interviewed the creator. I think I've mentioned that already, but I interviewed the creator of Thrive Themes. His name's Shane Mallah. Really, really great guy, and you're really going to get a lot of value out of Thrive Themes here. So I just wanted to shoot you guys a link to this. I'll leave a link, and you can read this for yourself and learn a little bit more about some comparison here to LeadPages. Okay, so here's a site that I actually designed using a WordPress theme that's a premium theme and the Thrive content builder, basically the Thrive landing pages builder that I showed you in the last video. Just wanted to give you an idea of what you can actually create with these landing page, that landing page builder. I mean, everything is very straightforward. The only biggest complaint I might have in some cases is like here you can kind of see there's some like white space above like services we offer. There's some little tweaks you might have to make depending on the theme and depending on what you're doing. Everything may not come out 100% perfect, but overall, I mean, with this, I'm pretty happy. I know like here above testimonials, I actually have like a code in place so you can click on testimonials and it brings you to that section. So since everything's drag and drop, there's just elements, they've got pieces where I can add in these testimonial boxes, I've got other ones here that have my photo, and then you can obviously add buttons and other things. So this is a very simple page. In fact, I think I have to go back here and move this CR pricing to center there. I don't know what happened with that, but overall, I mean, it was very easy to make this. I mean, I was able to get like an icon pack, and you could even set up these little, I guess you could call them just like points of interest of whatever it is you're trying to point out on the landing page. So this is something it literally took me maybe a couple days to make this, if that. It's not a huge elaborate thing, but it gets the job done. I wasn't looking to create like some massive sales page or anything that's super insane. This is just a simple example I wanted to show you for my agency website where I sell SEO and web design services. All right, so this is actually another SEO service that I originally partnered with my fellow entrepreneur here, John Haver. He actually built out this idea with me. We basically started up this site called Lightning Rank, and started offering SEO services to some people that were in his audience and just really to the public in general. So we built this site, and I actually decided to use the same Thrive Themes content editor, and that's how essentially this entire site has mostly been built out. This whole page has been done with that editor. He actually had an original design that I did, and he made some changes to it, like added this background, but he still uses the editor. So you can see a lot of the different elements he's using here. You know, he's got this Ask Me Anything, he's got the testimonial here, the different little services with icons, you know, kind of like guarantees and things, money back guarantee, you know, talking about like risks and things. You can put in like a little text blurb and show the team. I'm no longer working with him on this project. He actually runs this now mostly by himself, and then he's got a couple other people helping him. But I wanted to show this as an example because I know he's using this same editor. Here you can see there's more testimonials here, you know, photos and blog posts, things like that. Again, I'm going to show you another page which I actually did for him. You can see the theme is very similar across the site, but this is more of a sales page, and I know I briefly showed this earlier in one of the beginning videos, but you can see here we're offering, you know, add to cart. You gotta have like a little price comparison chart. You can add in money back guarantees, giving like, you know, text blocks. I mean, really everything is here that you could possibly need. Here's a testimonial, you know, more proof that this service is something people might be interested in. More testimonials, more images. So we're going in and explaining more. So I mean, you can really do so much with this plugin in terms of creating these landing pages. I mean, this is a full out landing page. Before he actually had this set up, he had just thrown everything into the theme, and the text was really hard to read. So I spent probably about 2-3 hours using the editor, going through and, you know, fixing a lot of things, like adding these nice checkboxes, making sure a lot of the text was very easy to read, making sure everything was explained fully, the grammar was good. And then another cool feature at the bottom here is they have this FAQ feature inside of the plugin, so you can go in and click any of these to learn more. You know, how long does it take for the blog network to work? You can click this, and then you see an image and kind of get a response and an answer. So going through all this, you know, it's really cool, very, very easy to use. In the next coming videos, I'm going to show you a couple more examples, and then I'm actually going to show you how to use the plugin and kind of show you how you can simply build out a page. So here's another page. I just wanted to give you an example of a sales page that I created that's just completely different colors and sort of theme and layout. This was actually built off of one of the pre-existing templates that comes inside of the Thrive Themes content builder. Basically, I just took a lot of the elements, deleted things, changed colors, and then it's still a work in progress. This is actually something that isn't fully launched yet, but wanted to give you an idea of something that I was recently working on. This is actually for a blogging bootcamp that I'm putting together with someone by the name of Victor, and you know, I've added things in, like he's got this image. I'm trying to figure out now, like I said earlier, there's always some issues with like the white space stuff. So that's something I think I can just, you know, it's simply adjusted with some margin corrections inside of the drag and drop editor. But you can see, you know, it had already this pre-built in, like, you know, here are kind of the features you get, and then you can add an image. So I just made these like simple, you know, in-depth video tutorials. Like I just put these orange text images in to kind of give people an idea. I didn't really have any good images to go with some of these. So my next objective with this landing page will be to, you know, kind of fix some of this white space so it's not so spaced out there. And then at the bottom, obviously, there's a call to action, you know, sign up for our boot camp for $15 a month. And then I still haven't filled this out yet, but you can see there'll be testimonials at the bottom, and then again another call to action. So it'll be a pretty simple, really simple sales page. Doesn't need to be complicated. Obviously, depending on what you're trying to do, you can go as crazy as you want with it, or make it as simple as you need it to be. As you can see, those pages on the Lightning Rank site are actually pretty complicated. They took quite a while to put together, but Frozen Wave Media and then this site is a little bit easier to go through. Wanted to give you another example of a landing page that was actually done with the Visual Composer plugin for WordPress. I know I previously mentioned that. The last 3 examples I gave you were all done with the Thrive Themes content builder, but this one I wanted to give you another example of kind of what you could get out of using the Visual Composer. Basically, a lot of the elements here on this page, I know it's a little hard to see. Let me go to another page. I'll just go to like this kitchens page. You can see the menu here at the top is just built into this theme. Same with the logo, but then when you look at all these elements like this heading here, this image, all these images on the left, and then all these different headings along with text blocks, these are all built with the Visual Composer plugin. And then you can pretty much go to other pages, like if I go to this portfolio page, you know, these are other elements where you can do cool things with like different images. Let's try going to some of the other pages. That's very similar to the other one. We try the About page. So, you know, again, we've got, you know, a testimonial at the bottom. That's another section. Same with these images. A huge text box here, another image. So you can kind of like mix it up however you please. You can do quite a bit with it, obviously, as you can see. I mean, it's really up to your, really whatever you feel like doing. You can see here, there's a bunch of different icons and things for all the different services this particular company is offering, and then again more of these image blocks, but these ones are a little smaller. So you can kind of designate how you want these things to look using the Visual Composer. So if this is something you're also interested in, like I said, it's not a bad plugin as well. Can definitely get the job done, but it is a little different from using the Thrive content editor. In this video, I just quickly wanted to give you a couple example themes that you might be able to use with the Thrive content builder. Now, obviously, Thrive themes, they also make their own WordPress themes, but I actually have not used them really much at all for building these pages. I'm sure they work just fine, and in general, you probably could really use just about any theme of your choosing. But these are a couple themes that I know have worked really well with the Thrive content builder and allow you to, you know, build out some pretty nice landing pages, and they integrate well with the theme. So the first one here is Agency Pro, which is made by StudioPress. It runs under the Genesis framework. So this one, if you were to buy just the theme with the framework, you're spending about $100. And this is actually the same one that runs under the Lightning Rank site here. So that's an example there. Obviously, you can go take a look at that site and see what it would look like if you're going to be building landing pages there. The biggest thing you really would keep in mind is how the logo displays in the menu up at the top and kind of the styling there. As you go down, you know, the logo and the sidebar at the top there sort of stick. I imagine you could do that with the menu as well. I haven't done a ton with this theme myself. I know John is mostly using this one on this site, and previously we were using another one. Another theme you can use that I've had good luck with is called the One Pager, and this is by Woo Themes. This one runs for about $60 for just the single theme. You can use it on as many domains as you want, and I've actually used this one on that Frozen Wave site, which is my digital agency. I used this on another site which I actually didn't even show you for web hosting, and I've had pretty good luck with it. I really like how the top menu bar you know, makes it easy to kind of like, it's kind of got like a transparency in it. So this is another one to check out. I thought I'd actually show you, here's what the demo looks like, so you can see the menu bar at the top kind of has this transparency. I thought that was cool, and just the way the font flows with the whole site, I mean, a lot of that's going to be integrated into how you decide to build out your landing page. So here's what the Agency Pro demo looks like. Let me see if I can get the demo, full theme demo. So here's a demo site, and you can kind of see you could do different things with the menu, but generally you're going to be keeping a lot of this layout, so that's really up to you and how you decide to do that. You can also see the font here, same font that you're looking at over on Lightning Rank. So it's kind of a choice. You could really use any theme you want, I believe, but if you find a theme you really like, you know, you can just build it out using that. Alright, so I wanted to kind of walk you through using the Thrive Content Builder and just give you a little bit of an idea. Obviously, if you do decide to buy the plugin, there are tutorials and training and things like that, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a kind of a brief tutorial in the next few videos showing you how to use the plugin. This is really the core content, I guess, of the course, is that you want to learn how to build these simple drag and drop pages. I wanted to show you how I do it with this plugin. It's literally going to be unscripted. I've simply just logged into one of my sites and I've gone to create a new page in WordPress. I'm going to call it test page, and we can save a draft so it doesn't go live on my site. Now that I have test page, I can click on edit with Thrive Content Builder, and it's actually going to open it up in a new page, and I'll be able to edit it, you know, without people seeing this live. So obviously it's using the existing banner up at the top, and then I can sort of just start filling in elements. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. Obviously you see there's a comment form at the bottom, and then I've got my big logo and everything there at the top. So one thing to keep in mind is with the test page, that because I named it that, it actually puts that here way at the top. That could be theme driven or something you could disable. I generally just leave my page title blank. So if I really wanted to do that, I would just delete this and update it and then keep the URL as test page. That would delete it from up here, so I don't have that on my landing page. But let's say I wanted to build this out. Let's say we want to do a paragraph element, and we'll just call this heading 1. I pretty much have a full editor here. I can move this to the center. I can blow up the font size. Let's make it like 46. Maybe we want to bold it. Because of the way I've got this particular template set up, this is technically considering it the center of the page. I'd actually have to go back into WordPress, and this is something you'll want to keep in mind, is under the template here, you can do something called full width. In fact, I guess I'll do it. Let's save the changes I made. We'll go back and save a draft, full width mode. I'm just going to click edit from scratch. I'll close the old edit. So now you can see everything's centered because I basically moved it into the full width template. So you can pretty much do anything with this editor. If you go in here, you can add other WordPress content. I could drag in images, and you can see it'll highlight green. So I could click on add and find existing files. Here's here's a photo of me. I could center that. Maybe I want to get some credit card icons with let's see, we want a pricing table that's going to be 4 columns deep. So now I got a big pricing table. It's already kind of pre-filled out with some example stuff. You could use these X's or question marks. You can delete as much of this as you want. It does take a little bit of getting used to. Maybe I don't want like this byline underneath. I just want to delete that. So you'll see it'll merge. You can even change. You can see here one of the columns is like highlighted. Maybe you have a feature on your pricing table you want to be a little bit more in your face. Maybe I want a testimonial with a photo. I could throw that in, and they give you kind of an example here with some quotes. So I can easily change this text. Oop, I went full screen. And I could change these images, choose a testimonial image. There's me again. Whatever, fill in text there. You can do some guarantee boxes, which are pretty cool. Obviously with any of these, if I click on the whole box, I could change colors. Now I got this sort of green color. I could delete the text in here. You might have to play around with certain aspects of this. If you want to copy elements, you can also click on this duplicate, so it's very easy to make, maybe if I wanted this pricing table duplicated for several pages. You can add widgets. There's a way to do what they call tabbed content. I'll show you that. You could have separate tabs where there's different text inside of each of those. You could even add a Google map that's embedded. Basically, you throw in a Google map embed code and it'll put a Google map there. That's pretty cool. I actually have one with a widget down at the bottom of my site in the widget field. You could throw in a responsive video. If I do add video, here you can see it's YouTube or Vimeo compatible, and you can do things like auto hiding controls or the title bar. You can make it autoplay and just simply put in the URL and off to the races. Other than that, I mean, you get some other cool things like for landing pages, responsive. Well, I was going to do countdown timer. You can add in this timer to add some scarcity to a sales page. You can do tables. Here's a plain table. I'll just do the default rows, so now I've got a table. It's nice to be able to add things like, you know, if I maybe want a divider. Sometimes this dragging can be a little, it's because it's got different styles, so I have to make sure I select the style. There, I added one type of divider. Here's another divider. But you get the idea. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with this. It's really just limitless potential. In the next coming videos, I'm also going to show you how to use some of the default templates, and you know, hopefully you've kind of gotten an idea of the things you can do with this plugin. The colors and the options are really just limitless. I mean, depending on the element you select, it'll have different options. So, you know, here I can remove that highlighted column because that's a feature of the pricing table. You know, here on the testimonial image, I can change the margins. I could reduce the size of the image, you know, different things like that. Maybe I could put in a border color. You know, I want this green border color or red to match the other colors. So you could really do quite a bit, and I just like the flexibility of this. Hopefully this gives you a good idea of the plugin. So in this video, I wanted to show you some of the templates and things that you can use with the Thrive Content Editor. If you go up to the top right here, you can actually see, if you click on Choose Landing Page, you basically can filter for different types of landing pages that they have pre-built into their system. I've noticed that with updates to the platform, they've added more and more of these landing page templates. I mean, this is something that they didn't originally have, but now they've added it in, and it's really just, they have so much that you can work with and kind of build your pages off of. So I'm gonna do, I guess I'll go through and show you some examples of some of them. So maybe I had a podcast. I'll load a couple of them just to give you an example. Let's do bonus episode page. So it'll take a minute to load. Once it's done loading the actual page, we can basically edit anything on this page, and you'll notice too it completely overrides the entire you know, any of the theme driven content. So I've basically now created an entire Thrive page. There's nothing to do with my theme on this particular page. So this is a cool little page. You can really encourage people to go leave a review or whatever. It's got an integrated SoundCloud little player there. Thank you for signing up to listen to our bonus episode. Did you enjoy the episode? Go leave us a review on iTunes. Pretty cool. As someone that has a podcast themselves, I know this is a really cool little thing you could do if you have a podcast blog. You could build these out. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to do something more like a sales page. If I wanted to do video course sales page, we'll do the elementary video sales page. And I actually used one of these templates previously, as I mentioned, with one of the courses I'm building now, but they kind of give you very drag and drop elements. I mean, here I could put in a logo. I've got a nice header here, watch this video, and you know, this is a super simple sales page. In fact, let's do one more, and I'm going to pick one that's a little bit more in depth. Let's see what we got. Do just sales pages. That looks like a pretty simple one. Big picture sales page. This is actually the one that I built in one of the prior examples I gave you. So you can really see, you know, kind of how different it is. I took this one and I was able to add in a lot of elements such as a logo and things like that. And I changed a lot of the color schemes around. But here, you know, you've got this big sort of call to action, like list 3 attention grabbing things that set your product apart. So they're giving you like a nice little template here to build out your sales page. You know, by choosing us, you'll get the following benefits. You know, here are all the benefits. You can change these icons. You could change this testimonial here. And then you start to kind of go in here, the sections for your products, and you can add different images here, all sorts of different things. And you could really delete as much of this as you want. You know, got 3 testimonials here. Well, maybe I don't want that one, so I'm going to delete that one. Maybe I don't want to feature this. I'm going to take that out. Bam, that's gone. You know, it's super easy to do this. I've been very happy with this editor, as I've mentioned many times, but I just really wanted to show you guys how simple it is to build these landing pages. And if you're definitely looking to do this with WordPress, Thrive Themes is what I recommend. Hey guys, just wanted to thank you again for taking the time to go through this course. Really just wanted to mention again that if you've gone through the entire course overall now, my recommendation would be to go with something such as Thrive Themes Content Builder. This is my favorite landing page creator. Even now, I've actually recorded this here at the beginning of April 2016, and it's my #1 favorite landing page creator, and the reason for that is because it is the most affordable and offers the most out-of-the-box solution. If you go with most of the other platforms like LeadPages or some of these other higher-end systems, you're going to end up paying a monthly fee, and you know, it's something that I guess you really have to weigh out your options depending on where you're at in your business. So my recommendation would be Thrive Themes. If you have any questions for me, feel free to start a discussion or just send me a message. I'd be happy to help you out. Thank you.